Lack of fuel could bring the humanitarian aid effort in Gaza to a halt. The very small amount of aid that made it into the Gaza Strip this weekend did not include fuel. And yesterday, a spokesperson for the Israeli Defense Forces said no fuel will be allowed into Gaza after reports that Hamas has set a condition for the release of 50 dual nationals being held hostage on Israel allowing fuel into the Strip. That's according to a report by the Times of Israel. Now, relief agencies in Gaza are saying they have no choice but to end their aid efforts tonight if they don't get the fuel they need to operate. Yesterday, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby detailed how complicated it is coordinating a humanitarian effort in a war zone.
If it was easy, my goodness, there'd be hundreds of trucks flowing in every day. It's a combat zone, Peter. It's a war zone. And that greatly complicates the ability to move safely and to the right recipients, the customers, that kind of humanitarian aid. So there's lots of players involved here. Hamas is obviously a player. Israel's a player. Egypt's a player. The UN is a player. And Ambassador Satterfield is working this as hard as he can. Unfortunately, today we haven't seen any trucks go in. We'll see what the hours to come bring.
Joining us now, the executive director of the World Food Program, Cindy McCain, who just returned from a trip to the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and Egypt. Tell us, if you can, welcome back to the show. It's good to see you. What the World Food Program has been able to do, what are the challenges it's facing, given this dynamic of the inability right now to supply fuel?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. We ran into the same problems and issues that many other agencies have, and that it's very complicated on the ground. The one request that we've had all along was to be able to make sure that we could have complete unfettered access that was also safe. That has not occurred so far. The few trucks that did get in, there was some food on board those trucks, the initial trucks that went in, but that was only enough for a night. It was a very little bit. The more we wait, the more desperate this situation gets, and right now it is catastrophic as to what's going on. So we keep asking our Egyptian officials, our officials in Israel, everybody, please let us get our food in quickly and in a safe manner so that we can keep from starvation and disease spreading.
Sydney, good to see you this morning. There's also, of course, a lack of usable water there and no electricity. And at least to this point, fuel has been stopped from being allowed to come in to the area. Talk to us a little bit about how dire that situation, how that complicates things further.
Well, the fuel is very important. In our case, we have bakeries on the ground that are inside Gaza because we've been operating there for quite a while. And we can't operate the bakeries now because there's no fuel. And with that, as you know, they can't desalinate water. There's all kinds of problems that have erupted as a result of this. We need the access. Humanitarian access is extremely important. I know it's complicated, and I'm not the politician, nor am I the negotiator here. I'm just pleading for people who cannot feed themselves, and we need to get in there.
Mr. McCain, people who cannot feed themselves. There are literally hundreds of millions of people who can't feed themselves. There are a couple of different wars going on, one that we're focusing on right now this morning in the Middle East, but there's also Ukraine, and it's not exactly on the back burner, and Ukraine is in a pivotal position geographically to ship out grain, which is they're having difficulty. How does the world, how do you cope with these issues? They're enormous, they're global, and they're underrated, I think.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that up. World Food Program is, as you know, is a very large organization, and this is what we do. But we can't do it in the case of Ukraine, the Sahel, Sudan, South Sudan, and more. There's Yemen. There's plenty more out there as well. We can't do it without money, and quite frankly, funding's running low. And we want to be able to not only keep feeding, but make sure that the folks with the places that we can get grain out, we're able to do just that. The world is on fire. And the only thing I can say as a humanitarian organization leader is that we need help. We need the world to pay attention and to demand that humanitarian access be given in every area, but for right now in Gaza.
Cindy, good morning. It's great to have you back on the show. One of the many benefits of you being the executive director of the World Food Program is that you have friends in very high places in Washington. So what kind of pressure are you applying there? What kind of phone calls are you making, and what response are you getting? What role should America play in all this?
Well, I arrived in Washington yesterday evening, as you know, and I'm going to be up on the Hill today and tomorrow for just that reason. I want to encourage our folks that are particularly maybe the naysayers or a little skeptical that this food that we're going to distribute, hopefully soon and in a safe manner, will be given to the correct people. That who you think the food's going to go to will go to. We have checks and balances in place. We have the ability to do this. But again, this is a war zone, and it is very difficult to say 100% the food's going to go to the right places. But in the meantime, you have the choice. Do we not feed those who are starving, or should we do it for national security? There's two choices here in my mind, and I'd like to say that I hope we would feed them because they're starving.
Executive Director of the World Food Program, Cindy McCain, thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for what you're doing. We appreciate it.
Thank you.